Good afternoon. My name is Ash Singh. How are you doing today?
I'm doing very well. Thank you for asking. And you?
Tell me what you're working on.
Thank you. So, um, we're living now in the post-pandemic labor market paradox. For example, in US, there are 80 million people considered out of work and nearly 10 million job opening. So there is a misalignment that used to happen in the past, but this time some misalignment are structural. Okay. So we have entered what we call a candidate-driven market, and some people who are coming back in the market, they have some change expectations and change lifestyle, and especially for young people, the meaning they derive from the work is more important than the reward they have from a monthly paycheck. So it's like meaning it's the new money. So, and Debyoo is the smartest way to find keys to freedom and fulfillment through work with a 4-dimensional resume, which emphasizes personality, experiences, skill, storytelling, and social impact. We want to empower people to find their sense of meaning and purpose in their life and at work, and make greatest impact at their jobs, which will lead to higher job satisfaction.
Great.
We have built a mobile app.
How can I help you?
Yeah, we want to raise 1 million so we can build what we call a experience graph around our concept of 4D resume.
Okay. All right. Yes. Thank you. All right. So we went a little bit over time on that. That's why I kind of jumped in. Okay. To ask you. So no, it's okay. The conciseness, what you'll find is, especially if you're talking to investors, their time is just, if you can value their time, right? There's nothing better, right? And that's why we try to structure it around 1 minute. Tell us, and again, feedback from the crowd, right? You have the Debyoo platform re-looking at resumes, right? When I think about the market, we have kind of a lifetime shift of a lifetime shift in jobs, right? That's what's happening right now because of COVID, correct?
Yes,
that's what's happening. And when I think about what you're doing, you are basically, as you're describing it, for me, in a nutshell, you're creating a resume platform for the millennial population, right? People that want to express their personality, their experience, involve themselves with storytelling and social impact. Those were the 4 things, correct? Did I get them right? Right?
Yeah.
Okay. Right. And so, that is more important. And the people that are switching jobs right now are very much in the millennial population, correct?
Yeah.
Right. And so we talked about that. You talked about this thing called experience graph. Okay. So when you're giving an elevator pitch, it's very important to make sure that you don't use something that the investor might not know. Okay. We want to keep it as simple as possible, but tell us about this experience graph.
Let's just take an example. For example, Facebook is built on what we call a social graph. Okay.
Yeah.
And it's just the idea of social graph is to connect people. I mean, who we know, how we know them. And then you have LinkedIn, which is our top competitor, is built on professional graph.
Yeah.
Just enable people to leverage their friends and colleague relationship in order to connect with people who could advance their careers. And the experience graph, it's something that will reveal the skills we possess and how learning path for acquiring them.
Okay. Okay.
So it's a platform that will reveal the connection between our
Understood.
lifelong learning and formal training with the actual work and skills we demonstrate in the real world. That's the difference.
So what happens is in the resume world, traction is very important. And so you want to raise $250,000. Is it to build the platform, or is it to start to for your growth, right? Tell us about how you plan to launch this, because there's so many job boards out there.
Yeah.
There's so many resume providers out there. There's so much noise. The cost of acquisition to kind of get a business like this off the ground might be really expensive. So with Debyoo, how do you get started, right? Like that's another thing, right? When you think about your business as an investor, my mind was like, how is this person starting? How is the traction going to be there? And that didn't come out in your pitch. Tell us a little bit about that.
We've already built a mobile app for users to build their 4D resume. The app is already available on Google Play and Apple Store.
Yeah.
It's user-friendly, built on top of our own social network.
Yeah.
So the money we need that to build now the product for organization leaders, recruiters. So because the way we have built what we have thought about our resume, it's totally different. It's a brand new way. You cannot use the actual system they used to track all those keyword. It won't work. So we need to build our own system to help employers to find the right people through that 4D resume.
Got it. Can I pitch your idea back to you?
Yeah.
May I do that?
Yes.
What I'm going to do is I'm going to tweak your idea a little bit, right? Just based on what I would do, if that's all right. Is that okay?
It's okay.
Is that all right? Because this is part of the elevator pitch. I'm gonna pitch it a little bit differently. Okay. So I'm gonna pivot your business a little bit, if that's okay.
It's okay.
Right. And if you like the pivot, then then pivot. It's totally up to you. But I'm trying to, when we think about your platform, the Debyoo platform, you want to make sure that all of the components are covered and it just seems very seamless, right? So I'm hitting the top. You can introduce yourself and I'll get started.
Sorry?
So you're the investor. Introduce yourself, because we're switching roles now. So you get to say, hello.
Hello, how are you?
Right?
So my name is Yves.
I'm an investor in Belgium, right? Yes. I have a chocolate empire. This is where you get to become that person. Is that all right? Roles are reversed. Okay. You are anyone you want to be, right? You could be anyone. You could be a rock star if you want, right? A well-to-do rock star or a actor, whoever you would like to be, right? So we'll start again.
Yeah.
We'll
Hi.
Part of the
hello. How are you?
Okay, so I'll hand it over to you. See, I'm hitting the end. So right when I hit the top, you can introduce yourself again. All right.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Hi, how are you?
I'm very well. My name is Ash Singh, and I'm part of the Debyoo team. As you might know, during the pandemic, we have seen a seismic shift in how people are finding meaningful work. There's so many people that have now left their jobs and are actively looking for the next job, the next opportunity. But we've also seen that most of these people are part of the millennial population. And what we've discovered around millennials, it's not just about money. And so we think that there's an opportunity now to create the next generation resume. The next generation resume needs to take in not just their experience, but their personality and the social impact, along with how they want to tell their story. And so we've created a smart platform that allows you to plug into Instagram, where most people are posting their life experiences. And we have a layer on top of that so that they can use all of the elements around their experience and history to craft a beautiful 4D resume. We think that that's an easy way to get started, and we're looking for our first $1 million to take it to the next level. I'd love to talk to you a little bit about, over a coffee on how we're going to make this impact and be the next generation LinkedIn. Thank you.
Awesome.
How's that? Is that okay?
Yeah, I really like the way you retell the story and how you presented, I mean, all the 4-dimensional without being technical, more human way. I mean,
it's always about human.
Yes.
You know, when you're selling, whether it's sales or investor pitching, it's always about a human to human connection, right? And I remember I built my first company in Hong Kong, right? And this was a time when I didn't speak Cantonese. I also obviously don't look very from somebody that is from Hong Kong. And I realized that creating that personal connection is what is needed, right? And part of investment is this idea of creating the connection, because investment is about trust, right? Right? And that's part of it. And so the one tweak I did, and I want you to think about this, is that all these millennials are addicted. They're all on Instagram. And if there is a way that, you know, there's this one link that you can have on Instagram, right, that could go to a different website, only one, okay, in the person's profile. If you can leverage the data on their Instagram profile and plug it into your platform and leverage Instagram, because all the images are there, all the experiences are there, the personality is there, right? It's already sitting there. You don't have to recreate it, right? If you can plug those components together, it might fast track what you're trying to do. Do you get what I'm saying? Right?
Yeah.
Because then all the information, the data is there. You talked about your experience graph. Okay. Your experience graph is already there, actually. They just need to plug it in, correct? Right?
No, I'm sorry.
Their information might be there, right?
Not the way we thought about experience graph. I'm sorry about that. Yes, it's more, it's deeper.
Awesome. I love it. Yeah. But part of the experience graph is on Instagram, right?
Yes, I agree.
Right?
I agree.
And so what happens, like anything, you want to take it up a notch, and that's where you want the money to take it up a notch. You're not trying to replicate Instagram, but it's always good to have a starting point, okay? A starting point of data, a starting point with an audience, okay? And a way to kind of dissect. So building this within these ecosystems can give you a better chance of success versus rebuilding it, acquiring customers, you know? And so that's kind of how I think it would work really, really nicely, right? Just based on the, you know, quick interaction that we've had today. So anything that you like around the pitch, you know, is all yours. Feel free to replicate, leverage it. And if there's something, you know, sometimes when you hear somebody else pitch your idea, it's a very powerful experience, because it allows you to think about how you are saying things, right? Right. And then also be in a position to recognize that every pitch is different, right? Every pitch is different. Okay. But thank you for joining us. Always a pleasure, and really excited to see how we can change resumes, because resumes kind of suck right now, you know?
Definitely.
So, thank you again for joining us.